My First Two Loves, Chapter 95. The Heart Decides. The book is finally over, is what it decides. As our last high school dance, prom signified our immersion into adulthood in the last of our childish ways, and for me, in more ways than one. I'd been balancing my love with Ava, Mason, and Noah for so long I couldn't imagine my life with only one of them, but it was time to grow up. Ava had been right. Dragging out the inevitable had only hurt 3 of the people I loved most in the world. But in order to figure out who held the ultimate place in my heart, I needed a little guidance from one half of the greatest love story I'd ever known. Dad, can we talk? Of course, what's on your mind? Everything's a mess. I have 3 people I could go to prom with, but saying yes to one of them means closing the door on my relationship with the others. And the nature of those relationships? I sat down with him on the couch, shyly dodging his gaze. I'm in love with him, Dad. Oh, boy. So I was wondering how you knew Mom was the one. I mean, you were only a few months older than me when you proposed. My dad sat back, smiling despite himself at the memories. As he reminisced, he fiddled with his wedding ring. Your mother just radiated charm and joy. But I guess I really didn't know until I was willing to risk it all for her. She made me fearless, and at the end of the day, the one is just someone who brings out your best self. That's great advice, Dad, but it doesn't really help. I could see myself with all of them. Oh, really? In that case, I'll pick. What? Assign them all a number from 1 to 3. I'll pick a random number, and you'll have to a decision. Easy, right? My stomach sank, but I nodded along, mentally slotting Ava, Mason, and Noah in order. Blood raced through my veins, and I found myself anxious, waiting to hear the number he'd choose. Alright, the love of your life is... I held my breath in anticipation. My dad grinned as he took in my panicked look. Whoever you were just hoping I'd pick. But nothing. You were terrified I'd say the wrong number because you know who you won. It's time they know too. Dad gave my shoulder a squeeze and climbed to his feet, leaving me alone with my thoughts. Later, I paced around my room, holding my phone close to my chest. All 3 of them had texted, asking me to meet them, no doubt with plans for prom in mind. It was time to choose once and for all. Dad's right. I do know who I won. The answer bubbled to the surface of my thoughts, as though it had been there all along, waiting for me to discover it. Once Emma picks her true love, her heart cannot be changed. Choose wisely, or you'll have to go back through 94 chapters of this shit. We have Noah. We've got Ava. And we've got Mason. Who's Locum gonna pick? Noah. Kind of a given. It's Noah. Since the moment I met him, has changed how the world, and now I can't go back if I tried. I clicked his message, scanning over it before typing back. Hey, can you meet me at the beach around sunset? There's something special I want to show you. Looking forward to the beach later. Trust me, it'll be worth the wait. If this is what I think it is, I want to look perfect. And without a second thought, I flung open my closet to get ready for my date. And go through the bloody outfits again. In pursuit of cute, all cozied up, snuggle season, and warm and fuzzy. Well, we're going to a beach at night, why not? My look is totally perfect, let's go. Alright, Emma, time to get your man. That's gorgeous. By the time I arrived, Noah was already there, leaning against his bike. He shot me his trademark smirk as I approached, and it made me melt all over again. The place I'm taking us to is a little bit of a walk from here. I hope you don't mind. You mean I have to take a romantic walk on a beach at sunset? It really is a hard-knock life. I stuck my tongue out at him teasingly, and he laughed as one of his hands slid along the curve of my waist. I'll take that as a yes. If I'm being honest, I've been stressing about this all week. And so, Noah Harris. Obsesses just like me? What's next? You gonna tell me you changed clothes 5 times before this too? Come on, Cheer Squad, after all this time, I thought you'd know by now just how into you I am. This is just my way of showing you. His hand tightened on my waist and my breath hitched. Still, I'm curious, why here? Believe it or not, the beach is where my family got along best. So for me, it feels to me the place where nothing bad can happen. I tucked myself into his side, drawing closer to his muscular build and feeling completely safe. As long as we're together, what could go wrong? On a night as special as this, I did want to find out. As the sun sank into the waves, we crossed the beach into the bonfire. The bright orange of the sunset reflecting across the sand, but as we approached, I noticed something strange. I'm not good at stuff like this, at pouring out my heart for other people, but you make it easy. Noah. When I came back to school, I was ready to be bitter and miserable the whole time. I knew everyone would hate me. I pretended I didn't care, and then I met you, the one person who saw the good in me, who helped everyone else see it too. But most importantly, you helped me see it myself. You may have needed time to figure out what you want, but I've known from the start. I don't want to wait any longer. As we finally closed in on his surprise, I let out a small gasp. Prom? Oh, it's on fire. Romantic and a little dangerous. Just like you. What do you say, Cheer Squad? You want to go to prom with me? At my feet, flames licked at the sand. Wild and untamed, beautiful, a perfect representation of our relationship. And at once, I knew exactly how to respond. I say yes, but not just to prom. To you. I'm yours, Noah Harris. I don't want anyone but you. From prom and beyond. In the firelight, his eyes shone, and he beamed with pride as his lips crashed down on mine. His hands roamed my waist and hips, pulling me closer, not letting even an inch of space keep me from him, and I didn't want to be. Noah pulled back just enough to whisper against my lips. Remind me when your curfew is these days. Too soon o'clock. What did you have in mind? Well, I was hoping to take you out. Maybe have a little celebration of our own. Let's go! After the year we've had, I say we earned a little bit of fun. We may have only earned a little, but tonight I plan on having more than our fair share. Lead the way. As we stepped into a luxe restaurant, I couldn't help but gasp, and Noah shot me a smile. Turns out the tuition for ESU wasn't the only reason I worked all those extra shifts on spring break. This place is so nice, but you really didn't have to. I know, but I wanted to, because you deserve all the beautiful things the world has to offer, so tonight, I don't want you worrying about a thing. I got it covered. As we approached our table, Noah pulled out a chair. His hand left a searing warmth on my waist as he helped me into it. Do I get to ask what we're doing tonight? We're on a classic date, dinner and a movie. Since we're official now, I thought it'd fit. A real date for a real couple. Reached across the table to take my hand and gave it a squeeze. How are you feeling now that you've made your choice? I feel happy to be with the right person for me. I spent so much of this year feeling conflicted and agonized and torn, and all that seemed so trivial, as if the answer was right in front of me the whole time. I'm just excited that I'm here with you. Cheers to that. So, how are you feeling then? I know this was a lot to go through to date one girl. There's a lot more than just some... You're a lot more than just some girl, Emma. You're special, more than you know. Noah took my hands from across the table and kissed each of my palms. I'm doing better now, but I gotta say, it was a harder road to get here than I imagined. I'm sorry for making this difficult on you. Hurting you was the last thing I wanted. Noah shook his head and gave my hand a tug. I watched as he chewed over his next words. Just because your path to caring about me took longer than mine doesn't make it any less valid. And for you, I was willing to wait. But I gotta know, what made you choose me in the end? Well, see, my daddy made a number, 1 to 3, and I chose you because you're a fighter. You fought for me. I've always had feelings for you, but from the moment we met, but there was so many obstacles between us every step of the way. You could have decided I wasn't worth it, but you could have walked away at any time. But you didn't, and I didn't want you to. You fought for me, and you made me fight for you. Now that I have you, I don't want to stop fighting for you. Ever. When I looked up, Noah's eyes were locked on mine, and when I think back, that's what I remember most that night. The feeling of having Noah's eyes on me and finally being completely seen. Long before dinner came to a close, we still had a whole night to fill. We packed our way through the streets, and Noah leading the way. I think you like the movie I picked out. Probably, but they could project white noise on a blank wall, and I'd still enjoy the time with you. Hey, white noise is soothing. Noah and I settled into the far back of the theater, playing with every heartbeat. Yes! The new blockbuster love story, which, by the way, is up on my channel. Feel free to check it out. Look at you, pulling out the romance. What can I say? When I plan the perfect date, I go all out. There's just one problem. I've already seen this one. Noah grinned wide and pulled me in close in the plush leather seats. Suddenly, the giant theater felt so small. Did you have something else in mind? I looked across the empty theaters the previews played. I couldn't believe I was about to suggest something so risky. You know I did. I kissed him eagerly and hard, my hands grasping around his neck. And suddenly the armrest between us felt like an obstacle. Slide onto his lap. I slipped into Noah's chair, straddling his hips, running my hands along his chest. Sitting all the way over there is cruel and unusual punishment. I couldn't agree more. Our bodies tangled together, and the beginning of sounds of the movie were nothing more than a distant echo compared to our heated breaths. I want more. I need more. I've got you. I shivered as Noah's hands slipped past my clothing. His thumb brushed against the fabric of my bra, and I stifled a moan. As his lips traveled down my neck, I pulled aside my neckline, giving him better access to my collarbone. Oh god, no, don't stop. Shh, or we're gonna get caught. As he pressed his face back into the crook of my neck, I slid my hand between us, moving against Noah. Noah's breath came hard and fast in my ear. Emma, yes. Not so easy, is it? Just as his voice started to rise, the door to the theater opened. Noah jerked away in surprise. No, I thought I said don't stop. The strangers entered and sat down, but the second they turned toward the screen, I shot him a look. Oh, don't give me that. There are people here. You're right. I'll just keep my hands to myself. Ooh. I slipped my hands across my thighs, Noah's gaze following my every step of the way. My eyes rolled as my head fell back into the seat. I heard Noah's quiet moan. His lips claimed mine as his hands followed the path I'd set, and I fought to keep quiet as his hands worked magic. Still, his name escaped me, earning a few shushes. We should probably focus on the movie. I think I saw a few more people come in. I get it. And besides, we've got plenty of time for that, and more all summer long. I leaned in, brushing Noah's lips with my own, and I felt his arms tighten around my... Hey, just for the record, thanks for choosing me, for this, for being here, for everything. Always. I came home on a cloud, wondering if it had all been a dream, when reality came crashing down on my doorstep. In the form of... Okay. Which one? Oh boy. Well, Mason. Hi, Emma, can we talk? No, that my heart knew what it wanted. It was time to let go of what I didn't. I just had no idea how. Oh, for the love of Christ, stop it. Without further ado, 95 more chapters of having to let go. Chapter 101. Anyway. Oh, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the description below. Links to our social media accounts, Discord, and if you'd like to support me and this channel, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And hey, if you enjoy the content that I do, I make you laugh, I make you really enjoy this, especially when it's cringe fest half the time, please consider hitting that join button. It's a way of supporting the channel by becoming like a super VIP to the channel, and it's just an awesome way of, saying, hey, you like it enough to give back. Without further ado, man, oh man, will this book just end? Oh, so let me know in the comment section below who you guys picked, and who you decided to be at your front door. Ava, I feel like, is someone who's able to handle this. She just was, told us straight up. She's like, yo, you give me an answer or you, I need to move on. So, yeah. Peace.